The Supreme Court rules that Donald Trump can't shield his tax returns. He's not above the law, but it's unlikely that voters will see them before the election. Two massive sets of job cuts in the UK. Boots and John Lewis put more than 5,000 jobs at risk. Both blame the pandemic. Singapore's coronavirus election. Voters head to the polls today as the country's economy faces its worst ever downturn. And music and politics. What artists in Washington make of the Black Lives Matter movement after the death of George Floyd. The World Health Organization has announced that the former New Zealand Prime Minister Helen Clark and the former President of Liberia Ellen Johnson Sirleaf are to head a new independent panel to review the global response to the COVID-19 pandemic. They will look not just at how the WHO handled the pandemic, but also how countries, governments and also health services did as well. And Greek police have used tear gas to disperse protesters denouncing a new law that seeks to regulate street demonstrations. Around 10,000 protesters rallied outside the Parliament building in Athens to oppose a new bill being debated by lawmakers, which would let authorities restrict or ban demonstrations that are deemed a threat to public safety.
Police in South Korea say the mayor of Seoul has been found dead hours after his family reported him missing. Park Won-soon is thought to have killed himself.
Police in South Korea's capital have found the body of the city's mayor after he had been reported missing on Thursday. A female employee had recently filed a sexual harassment claim against Park Won-soon, but there's no confirmation that this was a factor in his death.
Donald Trump's former personal attorney is back in federal custody. Prison officials say Michael Cohen had refused the conditions of his home confinement and was returned to a prison facility. The president's self-described fixer was released less than 2 months ago over coronavirus concerns. He is serving a 3-year term for financial crimes and lying to Congress. Bolivia's interim president, Jeanine Anez, says she has tested positive for coronavirus. On a video posted online, she said she was feeling well and will continue to work from home in self-isolation for the next 2 weeks. Ms. Añez said she decided to take a test after several members of her cabinet became infected. United Nations in the Democratic Republic of Congo say 2 people were shot dead by police during protests against the appointment of a new head of the Electoral Commission. It condemned the use of lethal force and the death of a police officer who was lynched after shooting at protesters in the capital, Kinshasa.
It'd be interesting to see if people are flying and how many planes are in the skies this morning. OK, so what you are seeing here, it does just look like a load of yellow dots, but those yellow dots are planes. And those are the planes in the sky in Europe on the online flight radar this morning. I think fair to say, what I can't tell is if it's more busy or significantly more busy than it has been in recent weeks. But the planes are up in the air and people are on the planes. Yeah.